Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here with Renza Lightning. Today we're going to have a mini guide on how to do the Gaius mechanic in Emerald X. There are two variations, one about a third of the way through this phase of the encounter and one about 2/3 of the way. And the second one is actually just an extension of the first one, so if you know how the first one works, you'll be well ahead for the second one. So let's have a look at what's going on here. The indication that the phase is about to begin is when the boss casts the ability Legio Phantasmatis. Apologies to anyone who speaks Latin that I'm butchering that pronunciation. In translation, it means Legion of Phantoms, which makes sense considering that these are indeed phantoms coming into existence here. The first type is, I forget, I didn't see the name there, Mechanize something or other, but all that happens in this case is you've got the 5 machines on the edge, and you've got the Magitech on the south side here. Now these will always be on the same side, so you'll always know to look to the west side here. This guy on the south, he doesn't come into play until later. Now the first thing that we need to look for is what are the numbers that appear on these guys here. Now after doing a bit of research, I've discovered that there's only 2 possible orders that can happen. You've got this one here, where you have like 4, 1, 3, 2, and this one's going to be 5. That's the first one. The second one that I'm going to show you later is 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. Now there's only 2 of these possibilities, and the good thing is you don't need to memorize them. You can just play it by sight. Now what these tell you is that these guys are going to go across the arena and they're going to shoot exaflares. Now I'm going to use the term exaflare because that usually refers to this type of AoE. It's an ability where the floor becomes a death zone in a straight line. That's not really the best way to explain it, but you'll see what I mean when you see it in action. Basically, an explosion will happen where the ads are, and it will go along the arena from west to east, pulsing one at a time. What we want to do is we want to try and avoid these and get behind them. And of course, they're going to shoot in sequence. So for this case, all you do is you look for either number 4 or number 5. When you see number 4 or number 5, you just run to get in line with one of them. You see these guys start shooting across now. These are going to leave behind the exaflares. So if I let it go, there you go. There's the exaflares pulsing. And I'm going to run behind number 3 here. And I'm going to get to the middle. The middle is where the guy in the south comes into play. He's going to shoot something on this cross, which is going to deal damage and also knock everyone back. If you're not stood close enough to this cross, you will get punted into the wall, causing death. So be careful of that. But an easy way to avoid that is just to use your knockback immunity. So you can use your shortcast, or you can use your arm's length, and you don't need to worry about the knockback whatsoever. The timing to use it is when you get there. That's the best time to use it, I'd say. The actual shot from this guy will come in when the final exaflare reaches the edge. So there it is, that's the last one, and then everyone gets punted away. And that's the end of the first one. That's with the first order, the 4, 1, 3, 2, 5. The second one I'm going to show you here is the 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, and that is right here. So when you see the boss say commence airstrike, you can see that up here, or you can see it in the chat window. The numbers will start appearing. And there we go. So you can see here we have 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. What I do in this one is, well, you got 2 options. You can either go into line with the 4, or you can go in line with the 5. It doesn't really matter because the good thing is they're both next to the 2, and you pretty much want to be behind the 2 because that's where the center is. So most people just run in line with the 4. The exaflares begin. I don't know why I'm going this way, but I end up saying, oh, I realize I've got to go back. I go back behind this guy and then just go forward there. This isn't the best view of it. Let me see if somebody does what you should be doing. Now we all go this way for some reason. But that second one there in the middle, as soon as that goes off, you can just run behind it and run in. So that's pretty much how that goes. Same idea. You can just negate the knockback there. So the general idea is you go to find 4 or 5, get in line with it, and then just follow the exaflares back in. That's the first type. The second one is the one that's been mostly requested, which is full rank. And full rank is the same as that, but with a little bit more on top. We're going to have some ads on the other side to deal with as well, so let's get to here. Okay, so this is where full rank happens. So the boss has casted full rank, and he's summoned all his ads. These guys on the edge are here as well, and the guy on the south. These soldiers are the addition to this phase, and they're all going to come to the north. And one thing I've noticed is that it's always going to be the row furthest north, or the second row. That's always going to be the best one to go for. In this case, when the numbers start popping up, number 1 is here. So instantly I know that this is going to be number 5, because there's only two options, and this one will always be either 1 or 5. Because 1's over here, that's got to be 5, so I'll just let the numbers carry on. 2, 3, this is number 4, and this is number 5. So everyone's going to now line up in this front row, and you need to look for the gap in the soldiers. You don't need to worry about DPS in here, because this guy's going to disappear just before these guys do their stuff, so you can focus purely on the movement. But here you can see as well, we have a gap here, but then we don't have a gap. There's going to be 3 rows, and then there's going to be 3 bursts from each of these guys, one at a time. So these guys are going to shoot first, so we need to find the gap. There's the gap. The next gap is going to be either left or right of this guy, like 1 step left or right. And in this case, we can see we have we have right, and then right again. So I'm going to move right twice over. Whilst we're doing that, the exaflares are also going to be happening. So whilst you're dodging these guys, you also need to keep an eye out for when the exaflare behind you is going past. When the exaflare behind you has gone past you, you can then move back into that safe zone to avoid these exaflares here. So let's see what happens here. So number 2 has gone past, so the exaflares are going to start going across here. These guys are about to shoot, so we're about to move right. There's the shot, move right. There's the second shot, so I'm going to move right again. But look here, the exaflare is already going past. So as soon as we move to the right here, we can then just move back as well. And coincidentally, this exaflare has already gone past as well, so we can just head straight into the center. So that's how you do the first one. When you've got the exaflare being the front, being the last one, you can just come straight back into the center and prepare for the knockback again. That's the third one. And the other type is when you have the other arrangements. Let me drag this over here. So this is from my stream. This is the only copy of the video that I could find. Let me see, what was the time on it? The time was... Oh, it's right here. Okay, so the boss has cast full rank. Apologies for the quality here, it's only 720. So there you can see number 1 has already appeared on that screen there. It blackens down when you pause it. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is number 4, so we're going to have to line up in the second row here. But the same as before, you're now looking for the gap in the soldiers. And I need to zoom back a little bit so I can see what the actual order was. See if Twitch wants to play with me today. I think I'm way too far around there. That's too far forward. Okay. So it doesn't want to play with me today. Okay. So let's see if we can find this now. So once again, we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So we line up with 2. There's the guards. And it's a bit difficult to see, but if you look carefully, we've got the first gap here. The second gap is to the left, and the third gap is back to the right again. So we're going to go left and then right. But if you look at this exaflare at the front, he's already gone past. So I just move forward into that space there. So see that one more time. So because the one furthest north is the first one, the exaflares are going to go a lot sooner as we are moving left and right. So when we've moved left or when we've started moving left or right, just keep an eye out for where the exaflare is. When it goes past you, just move into the northernmost row. So there's the exaflare, dodging left. It's gone past me, dodging right, so I can move forward. And then we can avoid the last exaflare. When he's gone past, we then just come back to the center again. Pop your, shake it off or whatever, and there you go. Those are the only possibilities you can get. So you've got the 4-1-3-2-5, in which case you need to line up at the northernmost, or you have the 3-5-2-4-1, in which case you line up in the second row. And the whole idea is you just have a look at where the gaps are in the soldiers, do the movements, whilst also looking for the exaflares. Once you've figured out whether you're going left or right, that's when you can just look for the exaflares and just do the movement. So there you go, folks. That is the full rank. Hopefully that helps out with future runs. If it does, please do leave a comment, like, share and subscribe, and we shall try and get some more of these videos out, as I've got quite a few people who are saying that these are definitely good. So if you think that's the case and you want some more guides on little mini mechanics, let me know and I'll get those done for you. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. This is Renza Lightning, signing off.